Hey gearheads, and welcome to Garage Talk. I'm Corey and this is a 2025 Honda Pilot Trailsport in this glorious diffused sky blue pearl paint. Mwah! And having just had its most obvious competitor 2 weeks ago in the Nissan Pathfinder Rock Creek, and having tested one of its newest competitors in the 2024 Chevy Traverse, is this off-road focused three-row crossover still competitive in the segment, or is it starting to lag behind, especially with its naturally aspirated V6 under the hood? Also, what major life changes have occurred that have me recommending this very strongly to one of my closest friends? Stay tuned to find out. Yes, gearheads, I am in a 2025 Honda Pilot. Recently announced that it too received an IIHS Top Safety Pick Plus, which is the highest rating you can get. So, very convenient vehicle for some of the things we are going to talk about today as we drive this one around. First and foremost, I do want to say a huge thank you to Honda for delivering this vehicle to us to test for a full week for you here on the channel. After just recently testing the 2023 about a year ago. So yeah, we missed the 24, but no major updates in between then and now to the Trailsport trim. There are other trims, newer trims, but Trailsport basically unchanged. And I did bring up its competition from Nissan, from Chevrolet, and really all major automakers have one thing in common in this segment, and that is a four-cylinder engine. Honda says, no, we're gonna keep a V6, much like Nissan. But let's talk about what motivates this thing. And what is sure to go down as one of the best non-changes for the fourth generation Honda Pilot, it did not drop its six-cylinder engine, but still soldiers on as one of the few with a naturally aspirated V6. While competitors like Toyota with their Highlander and Grand Highlander have gone exclusively to Turbo 4s, as has the trio of vehicles from General Motors in their Traverse, their Acadia, and the Buick Enclave, all of which have a decent competitive stake against this vehicle. Honda soldiers on with its naturally aspirated 3.5 liter V6, and that will be a big blessing and a big reason why I believe this vehicle will still garner a lot of sales, besides Honda's reputation for reliability. Power is decent at 285 horsepower and 262 pound-feet of torque. There is no turbo lag because there is no turbo, and it is mated to a very decent 10-speed automatic transmission, which we will get to here in just a moment. This one does have all-wheel drive thanks to their intelligent variable torque management system, which is absolutely spectacular. And we do have several different drive modes, including normal, Econ, Sport, Snow, Tow, Trail, and Sand, all of which employ their IBT4M or M4 all-wheel drive system. All right, so the V6, yes, it is good. It has served me quite well in my trips all around while we've had this vehicle. I've actually taken it to Dallas and back to catch a flight. And for the most part, I have no major complaints with it. Though I will say in normal mode, it feels a little bit, I don't know, like kind of like an EV when you let off the accelerator. It's like there's some regenerative braking going on. It feels almost like that 10-speed transmission is holding it back a little. But if you take this little dial and move it up to sport mode, well, that changes everything almost too much in the opposite direction, because now we have a very responsive throttle. We have a transmission that wants to hold gears for a very long time and does kind of loosen it up. It doesn't feel as tight and holding on to the gears and the restriction as much. It definitely makes it more peppy to go forward, but it's a little awkward in a big three-row family crossover like this to be so eager to get moving. And then the shifts are a little more abrupt. So it's not perfect tuning all the way around. You'll find your sweet spot. You'll get used to driving around in normal mode, as I did. It's what I drove into Dallas and back. But very interesting drive modes and just how it reacts here behind the wheel. Another thing I will note is I drove this thing through torrential downpours going to and from Dallas, and I was so thankful for the intelligent variable torque management for all-wheel drive system in this. I've sampled it before in other Honda and Acura products. It is so good. We can send up to like 70% of torque to one wheel. It is very impressive, and I felt very confident in biblical level downpours at 4 in the morning, taking this thing to Dallas. Like, very confident in this. Did I mention it won an IIHS Top Safety Pick Plus award? We'll get back to that. Other things new or specific to this model that I'm driving that we did not show you on the 2023, we had this gorgeous blue paint. And well, let's take you on an exterior tour real quick. The last time we had a Honda Pilot, we had a 2023, which was the first year of the 4th generation, in the Sonic Gray Pearl paint, which I liked well enough. I mean, it was a pearlized, stylized gray paint, but my goodness, does this diffused sky blue pearl paint really make this vehicle? This is exclusive to the Trailsport trim, so if you see a Honda Pilot painted in this color, you know it is the off-road version. And with all the black accents and the dark wheels on this one, it really contrasts nicely and really sets this vehicle off. This is the first vehicle on the big crossover platform from Honda to get this new generation. Since we've had this, Honda has teased a 2026 Passport, which is a shorter 2-row variant of this. And we're still holding out hope for updated Ridgeline and Honda Odyssey vehicles, both of which share something with this platform, but are soldiering on the 3rd generation Pilot platform. As we take a look at the front of this one, we do get a more bold, boxy, in-your-face style, including this big black bold grille with the Trailsport logo, that huge Honda logo in the middle, LED lights all the way around, including running lights and turn signals, and fog lights down below. The big boxy styling does not mean it is an unaerodynamic brick, because we do have some air pass-throughs here on the corner to help air get around the front of this new boxier style. I say I really like the 4th gen. The 3rd gen was a little too watered down to me. It was a little too round, and this 4th gen really looks good. My parents actually drive a 2012 2nd gen, which, if you remember, is the refrigerator box on wheels. I think this is a perfect blend of Gen 2 and Gen 3. A little bit of round in the back, very boxy out front, very overall a masculine style that works, especially when you're talking about a Trailsport off-road focused trim. Some of the things that do make this a Trailsport are underbody protection. We did not really get any underbody protection in Gen 3. We do here for Gen 4. And then we get these exclusive dark graphite wheels wrapped in these TerrainContact Continental tires that are all terrains, very nice. And if you look very closely on the bottom left of the wheel there, these are Trailsport branded wheels. So yes, they are exclusive to this model. And I do hope, though I did not get to test this for myself, that these provide a little bit better traction than what we experienced in the last Ridgeline Trailsport we had. These are 265/60 R18-inch tires wrapped around these Trailsport specific wheels, disc brakes all the way around. And as we pull around to the side of the vehicle, you'll see what I was talking about earlier. Very boxy styling up front, but round in the back. It is a very nice, very cohesive look, and it is not jarring in any way. The Trailsport gets black mirror caps, black door handles, black roof rails. Not gloss black lower cladding and wheel arches, which I think works again for this Trailsport model. As we pan around to the back, we get the black Pilot crossbar in between the taillights. Though you can see we do not get LED turn signals back here in the back. It is a little bit of a letdown here for a 2025 model year vehicle. The wiper is not hidden under the rear spoiler, but I think that's okay. I think that is almost a little bit overrated in a lot of vehicles. And then of course, yes, we do get the black all-wheel drive badge back here on the back, as well as the Trailsport badge on the opposite side. You can see we do have a trailer hitch down below because we do have a maximum tow capacity of 5,000 pounds on this, which will be good enough for some personal watercraft, or if you need to haul a U-Haul or something of that nature. As we open the back of the vehicle, you can see the storage in this is very nice and has one of my favorite features. Set to rival a big vehicle like the Chevy Traverse, my backpack is actually in the vehicle right now and in the back of the vehicle. Can you tell? No, you cannot, because it is hidden under this compartment here. Very large underfloor storage. Again, kind of tapping into the minivan roots of this vehicle, the fact that it shares a platform with an Odyssey. The new Odyssey will ride on this platform, but I really like this. The Traverse has one as well. So very cool underfloor storage that is large enough for 2 backpacks, a small roller bag, maybe 2, and then it is dual-sided. So here we've got carpet, so if you want stuff back here not making a lot of noise, you can do that, but you can very easily remove it, flip it over as I get it stuck in the entryway. Joys of filming and doing everything one-handed. But now we have hard plastic back here. So if you've got muddy boots, muddy equipment, you can flip this over, and now you've got a nice, easy to clean hard plastic section here. More hard plastic here and over here for additional storage, which I really like. If you need more storage than what is allowed back here, you can very easily fold down the third row seats. I like that they aren't power fold. They are very easy to fold down, even one-handed, while filming with the camera. And now you can see just how much room that opens up. I will go ahead and call out now, this does have spaces for a retractable cargo shade, but the third row of seats do need to be folded down in order to take advantage of that, because that connection point is that little square up there. We do get air vents and cup holders and power all back here in the back, and that is on both sides. I do like how Honda gives you these places to secure your seatbelts, so if you are using your vehicle as a 2-row vehicle, you don't have to worry about those getting in the way. The third seatbelt actually deploys from the ceiling, so again, does not get in your way, which I really like. Coming to me, looking at how wide the hatch opens, you can see I am 5'10", plenty of room, fits in our garage very nicely. We do have a power button and a handle right here. You can see it also says hold to set the height, so it is power programmable as to how high it opens. So if your garage situation or your situation necessitates it being a little lower, very easy to reset. Yes, very good exterior styling. I would say this is the best the Pilot has ever looked. I really liked my parents' 2nd gen, that boxy design, but man, this pearl blue paint, the diffused sky, really sets it off. I liked the Sonic gray pearl well enough, but this blue really just absolutely sets this thing off and gives it a totally different character. I feel more alive in this one than I did in that gray pearl. Color is a preference. I like this blue. Moving to the interior, all Trailsport models get the same interior, and well, let me take you on a tour. All right, one area where the Honda Pilot absolutely destroys its competition from Nissan and from Chevrolet is the key department. I really like how slim Nissan has kept their keys over the years. Chevy's proximity keys have grown, but look at Honda. It is nice, compact, and it's got everything on it you need. You can even deploy a physical key, but lock, unlock, remote start, hatch, and panic, all on this very compact key fob. These needn't be enormous giant things in your pocket or your purse, Honda shows that you can keep it nice and compact. You can see they also pre-number them because they are tied to the memory settings inside the vehicle. We'll get to that here in just a moment. It is a passive system, so you can just keep it in your pocket, your purse, wherever you keep it. You can lock it by pushing those 3 lines right there. That does fold the power mirrors. And you may have heard the click here. This is a push to open fuel door, but you cannot open it while the vehicle is locked. I will say to unlock it, you touch on the back of the front doors, not the back doors. And see, now we can get into the capless fuel system. So I like that. Fair enough. Getting into the vehicle, yes, you are going to have to open the doors and press the unlock button in order to load a child in the back seat. We'll talk more about that here in a little bit and in our family review. The Trailsport trim, much like the Nissan Pathfinder Rock Creek, goes with a black and orange theme. But here we get full leather, whereas that Pathfinder Rock Creek got leatherette with cloth inserts. This is a much more premium interior and its price tag shows as such. But it is also a more modern interior. So you've got all your window controls, lock controls, 2-position seat memory, again, tied to that key fob. We did not have that in the Nissan. And then we get all-weather floor mats, a hallmark of the Trailsport ever since they introduced it. And that Trailsport logo is also embroidered here on the headrests. Lots of orange contrasting stitching on these very comfortable heated front seats. I will say I did take this to Dallas and back, which is a 2-hour one-way drive. Very, very comfortable seats. You can see multi-way adjustable with a 2-way lumbar there. So that is very nice. Moving into the vehicle, closing the door, foot on. Yeah, we get that little Honda chime. Foot on the brake, push the engine start stop button. You can see we have a little bit of a dated interior here in that we still have a fully analog speedometer, but this left side is actually a 7-inch digital screen that you can customize with a lot of different things. The steering wheel we also have seen in other Trailsport products. Interestingly enough, even though this is on a shared platform with Passport, with Ridgeline, both of those vehicles did not get this exact same steering wheel. So it is not consistent throughout the line. But keep in mind, those 2 vehicles are on the 3rd generation Pilot platform. All your driver assistance controls are here. I will say the gap adjustment is not an up-down function, but it's a down and then it recycles back to up. Lane keep you have to turn on every single time you start the vehicle. And all of your adaptive cruise over here. Here are your infotainment controls, and then, as I mentioned, you can scroll through several different things here on the side, the digital side of the driver information center, including your torque distribution, which I definitely paid attention to as I was driving to Dallas in what seemed to be biblical level rainstorms at 4 in the morning. So very glad to have the very good all-wheel drive system on this. No head-up display on our Trailsport model. Coming over to my left knee, we do get a poverty blank right here, but we do get heated washer fluid, traction control, and your hatch open button right here. A little bit of gloss black throughout the vehicle, but it's nowhere where you are really touching all that much. There are a few places where there are gloss black buttons as we come over here to the center stack. Little smallish Apple CarPlay, Android Auto capable, wireless Apple CarPlay and Android available infotainment screen. The Chevy destroys this with its 17.7-inch screen, but I feel like this is more than enough than what you would really need in this segment. It tells you all the pertinent information. I like that it is wireless. Though I have had several occasions where it drops that wireless connection. I've even had to stop and restart the system to reconnect and all of that. So there are still some gremlins in the system, but for the most part, it has worked well. I just felt it necessary to alert you. I have had some connectivity issues with this. Built-in Wi-Fi, Bluetooth connectivity, all that fun stuff also here in the system. Other than that, it does respond very quickly and is a very good touchscreen system, even if it is smaller than the Traverse in the Chevrolet product. We do get a nice height of air vents here. It feels like these are getting lower and lower in vehicles. I feel like this is a good placement for them. Here is your hazard button, as well as an indication on the automatic sensing passenger airbag. So I like that that is very easily visible. Got a lot of storage up here with a rubberized cubby. I like that a lot. That was something I really liked in the Nissan Pathfinder. Not available in Traverse. We do get a little bit of storage here. It is hard plastic. Not sure what you're putting in here. Maybe a pack of to-go Kleenex. Not quite sure. USB-A interface to communicate to the infotainment. Again, wireless is an option. USB-C for power only. Then we get a cigarette lighter style outlet here. In previous Honda products, I have kind of dogged on their Qi wireless charger. This one actually works. I don't know if they've updated suppliers or internals, but I have not had issue with their Qi wireless charger. I really like it, and I like that you can actually turn it on and off in case you want to use this area for not Qi wireless charging. But there, we've got my phone in place. Here in just a moment, it's going to say, yes, it's charging. So very nice. Yep, there we go. Now it is charging. I like that a lot. A little bit of storage over here. It is all rubberized, so if you put anything down here, it's not going to rattle. Perhaps my biggest nit to pick, I wish we just had a mechanical gear selector here. I am not a fan of the push buttons. I'm a Chevy fanboy. I didn't like it when they did it in Chevy. Chevy has now gone back to a steering column mounted electronic shifter. I wish Honda would change this. It's not saving any additional room from having an actual mechanical shifter here, and it's just kind of complicating things a little bit. I do know that if you were in drive per se and turn the vehicle off, it would automatically put you in park, but I don't know. I feel like there are better ways to do this, but again, personal preference. Two cup holders here that are very large and do have adjustments in it for various different size drink containers, electronic parking brake, brake hold, downhill descent control, auto start stop of the engine, which is very noticeable. You will find yourself more than likely pushing this button quite a bit. I did talk about the drive modes. Earlier, you can see Sport, Normal, Econ, Snow, Trail, Sand, Tow, and I will go through these in a little bit more detail when we're actually moving. But yes, the center console, this is very much Chevy Tahoe level center console. It is very wide, very big, very spacious. I like it. It really shows you here on the interior just how roomy this is. This is easily 1.5 times as wide as what was in that Nissan Pathfinder Rock Creek. And you can see we've got nice storage options, all rubberized lower touch points here. So if you put anything in here, it's not going to make a lot of noise. Love that. We do get some more additional storage here in this extremely damped glove box, but no rubber lining, felt lining, anything like that. But there is some additional storage, though I don't think you'll really need it because you've got so much storage here at the door. So I went ahead and opened it up so you can see cup holder right here, a little bit of storage here for something, a little bit of storage here, a little bit of storage there, and a little bit of storage here in the door pull as well. Looking up here, we do have more storage for your sunglasses. That doubles as a convex mirror for you to see everybody back behind you. And then you can see we have our controls right here for our panoramic glass roof, which does not at 510 cut into my headspace at all. Really like it. It is a dual pane setup, very large opening section here over the driver and front passenger. Really like it. It works very well, but in the hot East Texas summer, we've kept it closed most of the time. Before I go back to the back, I did want to show you the backup camera. Really like the backup cameras in this full bird's eye 360, which actually shows you where your wheels are turned in real time. So I like that. You do get trajectory both here and here. And if I were to put it in drive and I still wanted the camera, this is something you helped us learn from commenters. It's not in the most intuitive to new driver spots, but it is in a very intuitive spot for drivers. Once you learn that the camera button shortcut is right here, that was a game changer. That is perhaps the best location of a camera button because you do not have to take your hands off the wheel. Love, love, love that, Honda. Way to go on that one. So yes, big kudos as we talk about the camera system here in the Pilot Trailsport. Coming to the back doors, I will go ahead and mention, if you want to see me install Tucker's child safety seat, see what Holly thinks of this as a family vehicle, absolutely hit subscribe down below, ring the bell so you are notified when that video drops. Things we really like as a family though, back here, built-in sunshades, even in the off-road model. Those for a long time were a luxury option and were left off of trims such as this in off-road world, but I really like that. We get hot too, you know. Same storage options in the door back here as we had up front, though we get like 2 real cup holders back here, so that's nice. A continuation of the floor mats, though these are not Trailsport branded. Really like the all-weather floor mats in this. It is very nice. Continuation of the orange stitching, though no Trailsport in these headrests either. Thinner seats, but still comfortable, still nicely covered and padded. You can see they do recline, and there is a quick button there for getting into the back. And I feel like it scoots up nice and far, but unfortunately, unlike both the Chevy and the Nissan, the seat back leans forward, so we cannot do the same function with Tucker's child seat in place. That is one thing both Chevy and Nissan have up over this. If you're needing into the third row, with 2 child seats here in the second row, you're gonna need to pass through there. We'll get into that here a little bit more in just a moment. We'll go ahead and come inside and take a look at some of my favorite features back here. Not only do we get map pockets, which I really love, I did leave my cell phone up there, but we have a cell phone pocket here that is felt lined and is a very nice touch for modern families. I like that a lot. We get it on both seats actually, and it is close enough to the USB-C ports here that you could still be charging while your phone's in there. I really like it. Another thing both Nissan and Chevy have up over this does have tri-zone climate control, so you can see I can adjust everything back here on the back of the center console, but this is where the vents are. Chevy and Nissan both put them up in the ceiling, which I think works a whole lot better. Down here, we do have some additional power, household style outlet, and those 2 USB-C ports I mentioned, as well as no additional storage down here. So wanted to point that out. No center console here. The Nissan had a removable one, but again, it was about half this size. So this is a nice wide platform here, and it gives you a nice step to climb into the back if you needed it, because again, 2 car seats here in place. Again, headroom, not too bad, though the roller shade does come over my head right here. I am in my most upright position, but I can recline rather nicely, and now I do have a nice view out of that large panoramic roof. I like that a lot. We will go ahead, set this seat upright, and I will climb back into the third row with the door closed through the center section, but I will get out the way that it is intended to. So you can see, even here, going to the third row, we get all-weather floor mats. Also want to mention we have armrests on the second row, but moving to the third row. Ooh, it is 60-40 split bench, as I showed you earlier, with the 40% here on the passenger side. We do have lower latch points on the passenger side only, not in the center, not on the driver. And I feel like this center seat is for emergency use only with small children, because it is rather thin just between the 2 connection points for the seat belt, like 7 inches maybe. So yes, very narrow there, but very comfortable for 2. I already showed you the power and everything back here, as well as there is the seat belt. I'm going to go ahead and sit behind Tucker because he is in the furthest back seating position. And you can see my knees just barely touch the seat up here, but there's plenty of room in all 3 rows for you to negotiate comfortably. I'd say this is a very comfortable seating position that I have no real complaints over. If I wanted more, I do have a strap right over my hip here that I can recline a little bit. So now just maybe a smidge more knee room here in front of me, and I'm perfectly fine back here for a long road trip. I have my air right here, my USB-C power right here, and a couple cup holders, though it is all a little cramped. I also get a very nice sized window here, so no real complaints with claustrophobia back in the back. Now to get out, Honda has also provided this button right here to allow rear seat passengers the freedom to get out of the vehicle themselves. So if I were back here, I absolutely could get myself out without having to bag the people up front. And I do have nice plastic steps all the way around. All very, very nice, aside from the unfortunate choice on the second row seats. So how does this drive? I already mentioned the engine powertrain, and in previous videos, both of competitors to this and in that 2023, I complained about the soft, floaty ride. I feel like I can backpedal on that just a little bit because yes, it is a soft ride, but I don't feel like it is as floaty as I remember. I don't know if they've done subtle tuning since the 2023 model, but I like the way that this one rides much better than what I remember of that 2023. It is soft, but it doesn't just lumber along. It is very comfortable. The road noise from those tires is noticeable. And if you don't like that, don't get the Trailsport trim. Get like the Elite or the Touring trims. But this is a very good system all the way around. It's very responsive, very easy to drive. I am still in sport mode. Very easy to see out of. That is one thing Honda prides themselves on. Big open windows, great visibility, even out of my back mirror right here. Visibility of all my passengers back behind me. Very, very good overall dynamics of this. I feel so comfortable, so safe, so secure in this vehicle. I know that's all anecdotal, but my experience in this vehicle has led me to highly recommend this platform to one of my closest friends who just experienced a wreck in their three-row crossover, which was a competitor of this vehicle. They said safety and reliability were two top options, top concerns for them as they went shopping for their next crossover. And this is the vehicle that I said, you may want to look into that. Not only do we have that IIHS Top Safety Pick Plus, which covers a lot of different features and attributes of the vehicle, my time in it just felt very nice and comfortable. One last thing that leads me to recommend this vehicle is that during the pandemic, during part shortages and all the crisis that other automakers faced trying to produce vehicles, Honda did not give up their standards. They held to their standards, unlike brands like Chevrolet that gave consumers a discount at the point of purchase and said, we'll install those features at a later date. Honda said, no, what you see is what you get. And that just instills voter confidence from this automotive journalist in their integrity, both during tough times and good times. I've long held that Hondas are a little bit of the appliance that Toyota used to be complained about being, but that's not necessarily a bad thing when you are hauling around people and your family in a crossover. This really is a good all-around vehicle, and I would recommend you checking one out if you're at all interested in hauling around your family in a three-row crossover, maybe with a little off-road bent to it. It will cost you just a little bit though, because this does cost more than both the Nissan Pathfinder and the Chevy Traverse that I have brought up multiple times in this video. Stickering, as this one sits right at $55,000, it is a little on the pricey side, but you get all the safety, security, and peace of mind that Honda brings in their latest batch of vehicles, and I am quite proud to recommend this one to any concerned with their family safety moving into the new generation of vehicles. Well, speaking of families, if you want to see my family's take on this, hit that subscribe button down below and ring the bell so you will be notified when that video drops. Find us on all social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, X, TikTok, Threads, YouTube, you name it, all at GT Garage Talk, or you can go to gtgaragetalk.com. But as for me in the 2025 Honda Pilot Trailsport, until next time, gearheads, bye.